Actually, this doesn't need a Welcome back. Now let's look at the list of those good souls who've helped and offered to help support baby Ganesh. Well, those are the names on your screen: Ganesh, Mr. M. Chandrasekhar, Sundar, Kishore, Krishnamurthy, Madhavan Vishwanathan, Balaji, K.S. Narayanamurthy, Prati Vinayagam, Arvind, Madhavan R. Chandran, Madhavan, Ganesh Kumar, Yuvraj, Prasadan Anu, V. Ganesh, Kumaran, Prativan, Meenakshi Priya, NSM Kumar, Usha Subramaniam, Srivatsan and Shanmuga. And not surprisingly, baby Ganesh's father, who works as a driver and has been shelling out almost his entire salary on his son's medical treatment every month, feels our viewers are like a godsend to his family.
குழந்தைய வச்சுன்னு ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டுருந்தேன் சார். பணமே இல்லாமல் தான் இருந்தோம். வேலைக்கு போனால் தான் சம்பளன்ற மாதிரிலாம் இருந்தோம். ஆனால் NDTV இந்த மூலிமா எங்களுக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் எடுத்து சொல்லி எங்களுக்கு நிறைய பேர் இப்போ ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுறாங்க சார். பணம் உதவியும் பண்ணுறாங்க, ஆறுதலாகவும் பேசுகிறாங்க. அது மூலிமா எங்களுக்கு இன்னும் ரொம்ப நம்பிக்கை அதிகமாக இருக்குது. இதனால் NDTV இந்துவுக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ். இது மூலிமா எங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணவங்களுக்குலாம் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ் சார். இன்னும் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணவங்கன்னு எதிர்பார்க்குறோம். குழந்தைய நல்லா ஆகிடுவான்னு சொல்லிட்டு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நம்பிக்கையாக இருக்கிறேன் சார். கடவுள் எங்களுக்கு துணை இருப்பார், நாங்கள் நம்புகிறோம் சார். தேங்க்ஸ் சார்.
What a difference all you viewers have made to that family. Joining us in our studio, Dr. Benny Benjamin, well-known pediatrician, and somebody who actually told us about, who brought this to our notice. Dr. Benny, hats off to you. Also joining us is Deepika Pallikal, world squash champion. Deepika has just come back after winning the Washington Open. Congratulations. And Deepika, you were moved obviously by what you saw and what your mother told you about baby Ganesh.
Yeah, I think the first thing when I landed, my mom told me about baby Ganesh and obviously touched me. And as athletes, the first thing we do when we get injured is run to the physio, and it is a lot of money and you need a lot of funds. So I'm here in any case to support baby Ganesh in any way.
That's wonderful news. Also joining us is Basu, who's a well-known physiotherapist. He's the director of Primal Patterns, also the head strengthening of and coach of the Royal Challengers Bangalore, and sometimes a little zapped by the long designation of yours, but great. Basu, what way can you help baby Ganesh?
Definitely, Primal Patterns will be more than happy to augment all doctors' effort, and we will definitely pitch in from our end, and we are going to be a big supporter for this endeavor.
Okay, in what way are you going to help? Because apparently baby Ganesh's father spends about 7,000 rupees, we are told, a month on physiotherapy. Now that's almost 70% of his income.
I mean, we'll make sure that Primal Patterns bones this cost, and we'll definitely going all the way to support this baby to get back into normal life.
Okay,
and,
that's...
I mean, the cost aside, I mean, the cost is more greater than the cost, and I think I should definitely do something back for the society. I mean, having accumulated all this knowledge over the years, it's time to pitch in back and do some social work.
Okay, this is amazing really. So what you're telling us is that 7,000 rupees a month that they spend will be saved now, that you will that Primal Patterns will now sponsor the physiotherapy for baby Ganesh.
Definitely, within our scope of work, I pledge here that we will take care of his physiotherapy till he is back to normal.
Okay, miracles do happen in TV studios as well. But thank you so much really. I think this should be music to the ears of baby Ganesh and his family. Doctor, tell us about this case. I mean, how did you first come to know baby Ganesh and his family, and how did you start treating them?
Okay, I think baby Ganesh, I got a call that he had a small kid who's drowned in the Buckingham Canal. When I was having my dinner, I rushed to the hospital, and the baby was brought without any breathing or heartbeat. So it was practically dead. However, the duty doctor was promptly resuscitated the baby by putting a tube and giving breaths. And
this was in which hospital?
At Fortis Malar.
Fortis Malar, okay.
Because that was the closest big hospital.
Okay.
Because they came from Kotupuram. And luckily the baby survived. And
went into a coma, doctor, for some time?
Yeah, the child remained in coma for a while and suffered severe brain damage because of the lack of oxygen. There was some delay in getting him out of the canal, because this was just under a station through an opening on the floor.
What you can see on the screen just now. Okay, we just saw that on the screen. Yeah.
Okay. And
so that was negligently left open.
Yeah, there was a space between the floor and the wall, which should have been normally covered, and it was night time, so it was dark, and the mother was looking after a younger kid in her arms, and they didn't notice that this boy was apparently was a very bright and active boy before this happened. And after a while they heard some sort of sound below, and then they realized the boy was missing.
How old was the child when this happened?
Now this 4.5. This happened about 9-10 months ago. So she was about 3.5 at the time, I think.
Okay.
He was about 3.5.
Okay.
And then there was some delay in getting the child out, because they had to get the people from the nearby area, and they couldn't get below immediately. They had to go a distance and work their way under the canal till they found this baby in the water. They fished him out and brought him to the hospital. Luckily, the attending emergency doctor did a very good job in resuscitating the baby, but the baby has suffered severe brain damage, and he had a very stormy 1 month's period in the hospital. He was in coma, he had seizures, and was on a ventilator for almost a month, and then required several drugs to get the seizures under control. It was a team effort with the neurologist, the intensivist, the anesthetist, the pediatrician, the good nursing care, good physiotherapy, and ultimately the child came out of the coma, but was still not able to respond well to the parents.
That must be terrible, really.
Difficulty in feeding, so required tube feeding, and then entailing a lot of cost. Even though the doctors gave up their fees, the hospital costs added up. And then we discharged the child to a low care facility outside, and that also cost a lot of money for the parents. So ultimately the parents took them to his hometown, where there is a religious trust which has a free hospital with physiotherapy. So
now what you're telling us, basically, that's terrible to hear, because it's one thing to be born in a certain manner, and it's another thing to actually be born, and you said very active child playing around, and suddenly you find your child motionless. So you can imagine what the parents must be going through, really, and especially when they really don't have the means to take care. But for a campaign of this sort, but for generous viewers, really, I mean, that's terrible news, really.
Yeah, I mean, the parents are very devoted parents. They don't complain too much, but even though they found it difficult to meet the cost, they somehow begged, borrowed, short of stealing. They did everything to.
Apparently, they've sold all their jewelry, all their savings, about 8 lakh rupees they've already spent. But they went to court, and the railways paid them a paltry compensation of 1 lakh, which is not even a fraction of the medical treatment cost. Deepika, what exactly are you going to do? You've said that you're going to help in some way. In what way are you going to help baby Ganesh?
Well, I just got in, so I really don't know, how big the case is, but in whatever way, in funding, in whatever, I know Bas has suffered for the longest time, and I know I've trained under primal patterns, and I know he's going to take care of that, the physio part, and without doubt, I know baby Ganesh is going to get back to his feet. But for me, the funds, if however much, I'm going to support baby Ganesh.
That's brilliant, doctor. I mean, you normally hear of corporate social responsibility. Here you have a sports person actually coming back, and instead of actually, taking care of her jet lag, she comes into a television studio and to tell us that, look, she wants to put her money where her words are.
it's really sort of wonderful to see, you know, such support coming from people, such prominent people, you know. It's great.